Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. I'm Malik Hodge, and this is We Reflect the Light. Welcome. This is where we look at current events through the lens of the unsealed scriptures of the Bible that gives us detailed information on what is taking place in the world today and what is going to take place in the world in the near future. From the unsealed scriptures of the Bible. Sisters and brothers, we are at war. Today's presentation, sisters and brothers, we're going to begin with the war in heaven, which is the war in the Middle East. The war, sisters and brothers, that is going to bring this reality as you know it to an end. Sisters and brothers, the war in heaven is the beginning of the apocalypse. A war of wars that is going to take this reality out and bring in a new reality, a new season. Sisters and brothers, let's begin with this. Revelations chapter 12, verse 7 through 9 states, "And occurred war in the heaven, the Michael and the angels of him of the to war with the dragon. And the dragon warred and the angels of it. And not it proved strong, not but place was found of them yet in the heaven. And was thrown the dragon, the great, the serpent, the archaic, the being called devil and the Satan, the making to err the being inhabited whole. He was thrown into the earth, and the angels of him with him were thrown." Sit this down here. Sisters and brothers, this scripture is giving us a detailed understanding from the unsealed scripture of where heaven is, that heaven is the Middle East, where this war is taking place at. Sisters and brothers, heaven is not a place. Well, let me say it like this. We're told and have been given an understanding of what Scripture is sharing, and we've told where and what devils are, who Satan is. Now, sisters and brothers, this war that is being spoken of, the scriptures say, and occurred war in the heaven. So it's letting you know where heaven is. And with that being shared, then the thought that heaven is in this place. Now, sisters and brothers, to think on, okay, that heaven is in the sky, somewhere, just out there. However, you have to get out there to heaven after you're dead. So, in speaking on this heaven that's out there, how people, let me how would we even know anything of this heaven? How do you wrap your mind around something that it's just that, no one goes there, comes back, gives details of who's there, or they, because you have to be dead to get there. So, sisters and brothers, let me say it like this. To achieve heaven, a state of heaven, we're told that we have to die to go to heaven. As our enemies, or this Caucasian white man, seeks, he makes his heaven on earth and seeks to keep his heaven. He's at war. He's doing everything to keep his heaven alive, going, to keep his rule, his ways, his dominance going. So this is his heaven. And we're told that we have to die to get to this place that is told to us, that is just make believe in some untangible place that you can never, know anything back. You can never, it it's all belief. Just, I believe, well, I'm going to get to this place called heaven when I die. So, sisters and brothers, that causes us to not strive or want to achieve a state of heaven or your heaven. Because you're willing and waiting to die and think that you're just going to be handed or you're going to just drop in to this heaven that you've been shared, that exists after you die, after death. However, sisters and brothers, the scripture lets us know that heaven is the Middle East. And we're told that, the Middle East is the land of the prophets, the land of Moses, the Holy Land. All these things that gives us an understanding of how special, so to say, that region or that land mass or that land is. All right, sisters and brothers. Now, the scripture lets us know, and occurred war in heaven. The Michael and the angels of him, other to war with the dragon, and the dragon warred and the angels of it. This is letting us know that Michael, Master Farad Muhammad, and his angels, Iran and Syria, will go to war with the dragon. The dragon is the house of Saudi Arabia, and the angels of it, which are America, Britain, and false Israel. And the scripture lets us know. Now, you have the participants, the characters, the participants in this war. This is what these are who are drawn out in this war. And we're witnessing this war right now. The dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia, America, Britain, and false Israel. Sisters and brothers, these are 4 countries, 3 nuclear power countries that have came out and stated that they had entered into the war against Iran in the Middle East. Now, sisters and brothers, the scripture states, and not it proved strong, not but place was found of them yet in the heaven, and was thrown the dragon, the great, the serpent, the archaic, the being called devil, and the Satan, the making to err, the being inhabited whole. He was thrown into the earth, and the angels of him with him were thrown. So, sisters and brothers, this is sharing with us that the dragon and his angels were not strong enough, or they did not win this war. That there were no place found of the dragon and the angels of him in heaven. So this is sharing with us that the dragon and his angels, as the scripture shares, were thrown out of heaven. And it states, and was thrown the dragon, the great, the serpent, the archaic, the being called devil, and the Satan, the making to err, the being inhabited whole. He was thrown into the earth, and the angels of him with him were thrown. So the dragon and his angels was thrown into the earth. That means they were thrown out of heaven, which is the Middle East. Now, sisters and brothers, Iran, who is one of Michael's angels, and Michael is the God, Master Farad Muhammad. Sisters and brothers, Iran are standing up against America, Britain, and false Israel. 3 nuclear-powered countries. The 2 world rulers, Britain and America, and as well as false Israel. And the dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia. And the Gulf states, Bahrain, UAE, Jordan, so Iran is standing against this alliance of the dragon and his angels. America, Britain, false Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Now, sisters and brothers, I'm gonna say it like this. This is not that Iran is not China, Russia, or Russia. Iran is not um uh, the superpower in the sense of what of this major dominant um military um or war machine or military. So when you're looking from it and you're gauging the what is actually taking place with Britain, America, and false Israel, as well as the dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf states that house the American military facilities or military um, facilities. Now, sisters and brothers, Iran is at war against the rulers of this war. So we're witnessing the dragon, the serpent, the archaic, the being called devil, and the Satan, the making to err the being inhabited whole. These are these characters are America, Britain, and false Israel. And the dragon is the house of Saudi Arabia. Satan and the devil, the serpent. The dragon. These these characters For these are the rulers the devil and the Satan. This is their rule. And there, so you have the dragon, the synagogue of Satan, the devils, all at war with the God and his angels. And Iran, being one of Michael's angels, are standing against the rulers of this world. So, so we're witnessing one of the angels of the God standing against this world's rulers. And, sisters and brothers, are going to be the victor of this war. They're going to, as the scriptures say, remove the dragon and his angels out of the Middle East, out of heaven. There will be no place found of them in heaven, which is the Middle East. They will be thrown out, sisters and brothers. Now, this is what the scripture, the unsealed scripture, is sharing with us. Now, sisters and brothers, this outcome, this war that we're witnessing, is going to change, bring a change to your reality, to this world's reality. And it is happening as we speak. However, sisters and brothers, the truth that is being given to us by the messenger of the covenant through the unsealed scriptures of the Bible and the Injil, the Gospel of Revelations, is being blocked by our enemies. Sisters and brothers, we are out of touch with reality. And do not see what is actually happening in reality and how it is going to affect us as a people. How it's going to affect you, your family. The things that our enemy is blocking. The knowledge, the truth of what is taking place. The information that is being given to us by the messenger of the covenant. That is being provided to us through the unsealed scriptures of the Bible, through the Injil, the Gospel of Revelations. Sisters and brothers, the truth of the time, the truth of how and what we have to do to be successful in this day and time, in this time of unprecedented trouble. The truth of who we are. The truth of what time and the state of this world is in. Sisters and brothers, the truth of a way out of the land of our affliction. The way out of this hell that we've been living in. The way that the scriptures, the unsealed scriptures, share with us of our enemies' plan to keep us from rising as a people, as a mighty nation, as a mighty army, as one body. Sisters and brothers, we are being blocked, distracted with in all types of ways to keep us from realizing that we are God's chosen people. That our history gives us a detailed message of what time that we're in. That our enemies are in alliance to keep us ignorant to what's going on around us. Now, sisters and brothers, as the war in heaven, the war in the Middle East, intensifies with Iran and America. Now, I don't think on it like that. As this war intensifies, and we think, or we're made to think that America, has this up under control. This is some war way over in the Middle East. It's not going to affect us. And you're in America, and America is so dominant. And you're going to, America's going to come out of this with a diplomatic solution or a military victory. However, sisters and brothers, the unsealed scripture lets us know from what we just read that America, Britain, and false Israel and the dragon will be thrown out of heaven. So, what we're witnessing, sisters and brothers, is the apocalypse, the beginning of the apocalypse, which is the war that will end this reality, a war of wars. Now, sisters and brothers, many of us, of our people, don't understand, what's really taking place, what's really at stake. And what is really being caused by this war in the Middle East, or this war in heaven. Sisters and brothers, as the unsealed scriptures share, that this war is going to affect the world. It's going to bring an economic collapse on the world's economy. Not just America, not just, this, it's going to affect the world, sisters and brothers. And our enemies are keeping or with blocking this truth with lies and deceit. And our main enemy, the chief demon, Louis Farrakhan, and his our hidden enemy. Let me say it like that. Are sharing with us that we're not going anywhere. We have to make our communities great, and not sharing anything on what is actually taking place. That the only one that is sharing with us, sisters and brothers, in detail with what is taking place, what's going on, what is the outcome from the unsealed scriptures, giving a perfect detailed message that has written and the outline for what we have been witnessing since 2020. Each and every step or scripture that is unsealed and has given details of what is going to take place when, say it like the order of what is going to take place and what is taking place. Now, sisters and brothers, letting us know well in advance how this war is going to affect us, what was going to bring this war on, what the outcome of this war will be, and what is the outcome of this war, not just the victors of the war, how this outcome is going to change the world as we know it. How this war is going to affect this reality. Letting us know, sisters and brothers, that this reality, this is the reality of the devil and Satan. This is their rule. They're ruling this reality, and their rule is coming to an end. This is what we're witnessing. However, sisters and brothers, we're being blocked from the truth. We've been given lies, deceit. We've been told false Israel is God's chosen people. that false Israel is us. This is their religious eschatology. This America and Britain set up false Israel to counter Elijah Muhammad's claim that we, the black man and woman, the original black man and woman of America, are God's chosen people, or the true seed of Abraham. However, they share with us that false Israel is God's chosen people. False Israel has stolen our identity. False Israel is being blessed while we're being cursed. Now, they're saying that they're God's chosen people, and the scripture said they're the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of the Satan. Those that call themselves Jews and are not. The scripture said they're all sinful. Now, sisters and brothers, when you look at what's going on, and you look and you say, well, America, false Israel, Britain, and you know these are the rulers of this reality. Of this world. And they're all aligned with the dragon, and they're all at war against Iran, but cannot and have not destroyed or took or overcame Iran thus far. And when you think on it, you say, well, with the rulers of this country, the rulers of this world, they have not been able to overwhelm or overpower Iran. Sisters and brothers, this war that we're witnessing we're not being told of the truth and how it's going to affect us, and how it's going to affect us. This energy drought. It's like a drought of energy, a drought on energy. And other natural nutrients or natural elements. Just let me say it like this. Things that are needed to keep food and the supply chain moving. So, sisters and brothers, I want to say this. No one is sharing with us. Well, it's been shared with us in detail that we're about to experience an energy shortage that is going to cause an economic collapse in America and the world. An economic collapse, sisters and brothers. And when we say this, for you have to think on what does an economic collapse mean to us? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Well, how does that, how do how are you relating what an economic collapse really is? Do you not understand the weight of an economic collapse that is going to affect not just America, but the world? That is going to change the reality that you live in, that we're living in, going to change it, and it's going to change it overnight. Sisters and brothers, I'm going to play a clip. And listening to the clip, what is being shared on the clip, sisters and brothers, is what is going to look like. What is going to take place? How is going to happen? So you can get, so we have to come to reality. And we're going to be brought to a harsh reality by the God. Because the God is going to remove all the smoke, the fog, all the distractions from us that are going to snatch us out of this matrix, out of this American dream into reality, sisters and brothers. Into reality. So I'm going to play the clip and we're going to get, what is reality? What are we going to be snatched into? What's coming our way, and what's coming, they're not telling us. They're not sharing with us the truth of what is taking place in our midst, in our face, that we're going to have to deal with very soon. So let's look at the clip and then we will continue, sisters and brothers. Listen up, sisters and brothers.
Which is going to happen. This is people tend to forget that all it takes is a couple days of missed meals. At what point in time do people start getting desperate? I mean, right now here, if power goes out today, all right, I got a refrigerator, a freezer full of food. Power's out. I got a generator. I've got enough stuff. I can run my generator for a week. Then that's out. Well, I don't know. I'll cook the food. But the food's going to run out. I got some canned food, but it's going to run out. My dogs and cats keep looking at me, meowing and barking, saying, "Feed me, feed me." Well, Maverick may become lunch because I'll be desperate. I'll go to the store, but everybody else is going to the store. Now, I'll drive to the store initially because I've got gasoline in my car, but eventually my car's going to go empty and there's no gas. So now I'm walking to the store. Everybody's coming to the store, raiding the store because it's not going to be. So we're fighting over the food in the store, killing people there. We'll be bodies stacked up. I'll be coming home, but there's going to be a 7-mile walk home from the store. I can only carry so much food, and there'll be people ambushing me the entire way. So I'm going to start ambushing my neighbors, launching raids against their house and all that. But they're going to be. I have to fortify my. This is what society is going to become. Trust me, it's human nature. And then people are going to gather together in groups, and they'll have a common group, and it's not going to be about the Constitution, rule of law. It's going to be about survival, basic survival. And that's the United States. What happens to places that lack this infrastructure? Again, we just go to Africa. When food isn't produced, water isn't come out, people starve to death. And when they starve to death, things start to happen. They get desperate. They're going to get migrations. Now, the migration takes care of itself over time because, 1 million people start marching, but they don't have enough food. People start falling aside, dying, but you're still going to get a couple 100,000 showing up where they want to go, and they're going to be desperate. They got one shot. There's no reasoning with them. They're coming over the wall. They're coming in. They don't care. They're dying. They're dead if they don't do this. This is the world. This is what's going to happen this fall if this happens. If we run out of fertilizer, we run.
Sisters and brothers, he shared this will happen. This, you see this to happen this fall. That's in 2 months. A month and a half, 2 months. This to happen this fall if we don't get fertilizer. We don't listen up, sisters and brothers.
We run out of the ability to grow food. So this is a stupidity on the part of Donald Trump.
All right, sisters and brothers. I'm gonna put the picture back up. I'm not gonna play it again. Now, sisters and brothers, the unsealed scriptures lets us know exactly what's going to take place. The messenger of the covenant has been giving us in advance the outcome of this war and how it's going to affect the world, how it's going to bring this economic collapse on the world, how it's going to bring in famine, war, destruction up on the earth. Sisters and brothers, how it's going to snatch this reality off and under our feet, and how it's going to change, sisters and brothers, overnight. Now, the truth that the unsealed scriptures gives to us from the messenger of the covenant to the original black man and woman and lets us know who we are, what is about to take place, what the outcome of this war in the Middle East will be, how it's going to affect the world, and how it is going to change or bring this reality that we're living in, the devil's and Satan's world, to an end. And how it's going to affect our nation, our people. And what and gives us detailed information, directions of what we need to do to be successful. Gives us detailed information on our enemies, on what they intend to do against us, as they keep us ignorant so that they can carry out their plan. If they keep keeping us ignorant, sisters and brothers, keeps us from ever understanding what's taking place, so you never even prepare for what's about to happen. So you're caught off of guard because you lack the knowledge that has been given far in advance for us to be successful, because it's not our fault, sisters and brothers. However, the truth is being blocked from us. The truth is being blocked. The chief demon, Louis Farrakhan, is against our nation. He's against us. He's a liar. And he's saying that, we're staying here. We have to make your cities and your neighborhoods sisters and brothers. Now, the unsealed scripture has given us this detailed information. The messenger of the covenant has been sharing this with us long, far in advance. Now we're rushing into this time of unprecedented trouble. And we don't even know it. We don't see it. You're playing sports. Your children's out here playing sports. Every sport, all you see is camps of this sport, this, and that. Listen to your music and sports and TV, and you don't see what's taking place in the real world. You're out of touch with reality. And anything that the TV share with you, you don't even recognize what's really going on. However, the rocks Even the devil can see what's taking place. Sharing with you. All it takes is 2 days for you not to have no food. You're not prepared. He said he's prepared. Yes, he said he has a freezer, and he has plenty of food, and he has he said he has a generator that he can operate for a week to keep his food. In the case of no energy, no electricity, no gas. Think, sisters. So he's saying, okay, sharing this with you. Okay, I can make it for a week. So by the time that week is up, I'm gonna have to cook the food that I have and to try to preserve it longer so we can eat that before it goes bad. Then he states that, yeah, we have some canned food, but it's gonna run out. He has some gas in his car, but when that gas is gone, he's walking. He's sharing with you exactly what. So when you don't have the gas to drive to go, and when you go to the store, because of the shortage, it's going to be a frenzy of it's going to be chaotic. You're not going to be able to walk in the store, buy food. No, because there's a food shortage, a crisis. It's going to be people raiding the store, fighting and killing over the food. Probably be more food on the ground in between dead bodies, because they're going to be going crazy over trying to get some food. And as he said, if he did get some food, if he's able to get some food, by the time he walked home, he been and got attacked from hungry people. Sisters and brothers, the reality of what is about to take place. The unsealed scripture lets us know that an economic collapse is about to take place. This world that we're living in is about to collapse, which is going to bring war and famine throughout the land. However, sisters and brothers, we have a way out. We have a way out. We have a way out of this darkness, a way out of this hell, a way out of the land of our affliction. Sisters and brothers, when false Israel is destroyed, false Israel who claim that they're God's chosen people, who has stolen our birthright, who has stolen our identity. Sisters and brothers, this war is going to bring false Israel under siege and destroyed. Sisters and brothers, America is going to be kicked out the Middle East. And once America is kicked out of the Middle East, thrown out. And once America is thrown out of heaven, out of the Middle East, America is going to attack all black sisters and brothers. Because they understand, they know that who we are. They know that we are the true seed of Abraham. That know this, sisters and brothers. Now, we are directly connected to what's taking place in the world, sisters and brothers. Now, let me do this like this. Sisters and brothers, all right. Sisters and brothers, this is a detailed message that is speaking on the original black man and woman here in America. That lets us know what we will endure through and for how long we will endure through this affliction. And after that time, we will be brought out of this land of our affliction and returned to our land, the promised land, which is Arabia, which is heaven. Now, sisters and brothers, this message, it says, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. But thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, thou shalt be buried in a good old age. And in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquities of the Amorites are not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a flaming torch that passed between these pieces. Now, sisters and brothers, I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to go into, great depth. However, this is sharing, that we will be, as a people, enslaved and afflicted for 400 years. And it said, Abram fell in a deep sleep. And it said, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety, God said, know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners in the land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Sisters and brothers, 1619 to 2019 is our 400 years of affliction. Now, the scripture gives us a detailed message to us, and it lets us know that we will be enslaved and afflicted 400 years. However, sisters and brothers, our enemies are constantly trying to get us to think that we're not slaves, that, that we're treated equal, that they have changed. However, the reality of the laws and of what is taking place and what continues to take place and has continued and has never changed is that America sees the original black man as 3/4 or 3/5 or 3/5 of an animal, of a man, which is an animal. That America sees us as animals, the original black man and woman as animals, and its laws is based on it's the laws of America, the laws of the land is based or built to inflict the original black man and woman 24/7, 350, 365. So this is letting us know, sisters and brothers, that we are in a land of our enslavement and affliction, and we have to be brought out of this land to get away from being enslaved and afflicted. That America has not changed, will not change, and is not going to change. They're not going to change. That's why we have to get out. We have to come out of her, return to our land, leave this land of our affliction. That's what's being shared with us. This is what is taking place, sisters and brothers. America is being destroyed for what America has done to God's chosen people. This is about to be made known, sisters and brothers, and false Israel is going to be destroyed first, because false Israel has stolen our identity and has the world seeing and looking at them as if they are God's chosen people. Blessing false Israel and cursing God's chosen people, who is the original black man and woman of America. Now, sisters and brothers, now, after the 400 years, and that nation whom they serve will I judge. America is under judgment. And afterwards shall they come out. We should come out of America, come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age, but in the 4th generation. That's after the 400 years. So the 4th generation, after 400 years, they should come hither again, for the iniquities of the Amorites are not yet full, meaning that we shall return home hither. We should come here. That means again, it said hither again. That means we should return there or here, there again. That means we've already been there. We're going to return home. Now, sisters and brothers, we're going to bring this to a close. The Abrahamic covenant. In that day, God made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Sisters and brothers, this is Arabia. This is the land that the dragon, the house of Sod, is sitting on. This is heaven. This is our land. And the dragon, the dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia, is sitting in Arabia. However, sisters and brothers, the scripture, that's what the scripture said, that the dragon, the house of Saudi Arabia, is going to be thrown out of heaven. Why? The God is cleaning out heaven. The God and his angels are cleaning heaven out. So you won't have the dragon. You won't have the dragon. You will not have the serpent, the devil, the devil and the Satan. They will all be thrown out of the Middle East, out of heaven. There will be no place found of them in heaven. And Iran, and the God in Iran, as well as Syria, will take full control, full rule over the Middle East, and take full control over the energy, the source of energy that the world needs to operate, where the energy comes from. So this is, sisters and brothers, what the scripture is saying. The powers in heaven have been shaken. Men's hearts are failing for fear, for the powers in heaven have been shaken. This is let me see. I want to say that. Sisters and brothers, this is God made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The promised land that God has given to Abram's seed, Abraham's seed. And sisters and brothers, we're called, they tell us that we're Ham, that we're cursed black, as the chief demon Louis Farrakhan shares that, we're ugly, nappy head, black, and we ugly. Sisters and brothers, this world as we know it is about to be brought to an abrupt stop or collapse. And it's going to affect each and every one of us. Now, sisters and brothers, as Scott Ritter shared, that's the Caucasian white man that was speaking. On what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. And he shared with you how it just in 2 days, what would 2 days do to most people if you haven't ate in 2 days? Then it's 3 days. Then it's, what are most, it's sharing with you when the reality is you can't get up, go to the store, you can't get up and go to your refrigerator, you can't get up and fix food and give to your child. What are you going to do? Think on that reality. He said, well, his dog and cat, he told you, well, when I can't feed my dog and cat, they going to become a meal because I'm going to be desperate. I got to feed myself and my children. He told you, well, I'm going to have to attack my neighbor. I'm going to have this. So, sisters and brothers, when this time comes, you think of famine, cannibalism, because that's why they have a clause in the Constitution. The American Constitution has a clause in it. Said that we're 3/5 of an animal, or 3/5 of a human. That means we're an animal, justified in being ate. Think on that. So he's sharing with you what it's going to look like. So he's saying when there's no food, so there's no food. He already ate his dog. He already ate his cat. He already told you that. So if the dog and cat is ate, who's next on the menu? Who's next? Sisters and brothers, we have to understand that this economic collapse that's about to take place is going to snatch us into reality. What is reality? Not this make-believe, not this American dream, into reality that we are resisting to refusing to look at, refusing to understand what is being brought on us. When the reality comes and you find yourself hungry and you're being attacked, America is attacking us. They're attacking all blacks. And you don't know what to do. Sisters and brothers, this is what is coming. That is going to snatch us into this reality, this matrix, this American dream is going to be snatched up on off and under our feet, sisters and brothers, to make us think, to bring us to reality and cause us to see what is really going on in this world, what is really going on around us, and what is happening in the real world, and identify who we are, why this is happening, why the world is, what's being brought in, what is being taken out, all the information that we need to be successful, that we need to come out of here. Sisters and brothers, we will not come up out of here or leave the land of our affliction until we have a thorough knowledge of self, a thorough knowledge of the angel. We have to upload the angel mind. we have to utilize the 5 pillars of Islam to keep us safe. Now, sisters and brothers, bringing this to a close, before false Israel is destroyed, America is going to attack all blacks. They have to do it before false Israel is destroyed, because when false Israel is destroyed, their religious eschatology is going to be destroyed with it, which is going to remove the lie, to remove the weight that is on our back, and we will immediately pop up overnight as a mighty army and a mighty nation, an exceedingly great army. Overnight. Sisters and brothers, the unsealed scriptures lets us know that the God, Master Farad Muhammad, is going to feed us. We will eat. Our enemies will not. Sisters and brothers, we must come together as a one body, as one nation, one people. And that will give us the security that we need. That's right, sisters and brothers. Where we're protecting each and every last one of our children, our women, brothers, sisters, united and moving in sync, in Hajj with each other through this time of unprecedented trouble, through this time of this purification. We'll be walking, being purified through the fire, through this unprecedented time, to be made to see and identify and our enemies and know without a shadow of a doubt who our enemies are and why they must be destroyed, why we must get away from them. However, sisters and brothers, this is what's going to take place. Some will as the scripture said, be brought out as slaves, took in as slaves. However, but sisters and brothers, this is the original black man and woman will be successful. We will come out of this unscathed. We have a way out, sisters and brothers. The scriptures, the unsealed scriptures, give us a clear understanding of what's going on, and we have to accept the truth, the angel, and upload the angel, our new mind. Utilize the 5 pillars of Islam for our protection, and we must do exploits as we travel to the West Coast to be taken or brought up out of this hell and taken and placed back into heaven. So, sisters and brothers, this is what's taking place. And this is the outcome. This unsealed scriptures give us the outcome of what? You have details. The messenger of the covenant has given us details for we can be successful. You're looking high and low for this Jesus, and except when the messenger of the covenant, the Lord whom you seek, is giving you everything you need to be successful. Letting you know each and everything that is going on from the unsealed scripture and what the outcome is and what we must do to be successful. Joshua, the Messiah. Sisters of Joshua, the Messiah. The messenger of the covenant. The only one that's sharing with us that the Abrahamic covenant belongs to us. That we are God's chosen people. That they call Ham. So Abram and Ham, when we're united, it's Abraham. So, sisters and brothers, the land God has given us, this is God has promised. This is the promised land, and the chief demon Louis Farrakhan tells us we're not going nowhere. He's calling God a lie. No one wants us to go anywhere because if they can keep us ignorant, then they keep us from understanding who we are. That's how they hold on to more time or hold on to their rule. That's what they're trying to do. They deceive the whole world, sisters and brothers. However, I'm going to bring this to a close, sisters and brothers. We will be successful. This directly connect. This is directly about us. What we're witnessing in the world. We are that nation that are being brought out with great substance, and they are that nation who afflicted us, that they are being judged. The nations have afflicted us. Nations have been made great or rich off of our suffering. However, sisters and brothers, I'm going to bring this to a close and greet you in the greeting words of peace. The time is at hand, sisters and brothers. This war is going to change the reality that we're living in. You have to understand what is about to take place, sisters and brothers. Unprecedented trouble. Energy shortage. Not just energy, like the man shared. No fertilizer, nothing for growing, nothing. How is it going to affect it? It's going, and how This can happen by the fall of this year. With that, sisters and brothers, I'm going to greet you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.